Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's coverage of the Full Throttle Sim Racing Victory Fuel Cup Series here on Full Throttle Television. My name is Brady Hanna. Beside me in the booth tonight is Tony Solari. And Tony, we are near Austin, Texas here, Circuit of the Americas, a track designed for F1, but going to be raced tonight with the NASCAR Cup cars. It's going to be an exciting race for sure here, a challenging race for the drivers, and it should be fun to see who comes out on top here tonight.
Yeah, this is, I don't know if you'd call it even a controversial track, but I call it the pointy corner track because it's got a lot of pointy corners in it. And I'll tell you, it's made for F1 cars, and I'm not 100% sold it's still ready for the Cup cars, but it's starting to grow on me a little bit, and I'm starting to kind of enjoy it. And they keep changing it and making it smaller. And then like last year was a couple corners shorter, and then this year's a couple short corners longer. And I don't know. I'm still kind of debating on it, but it is a challenge that I could definitely agree with.
Any track can be fun if you're good at it, if you've studied it, if you practiced, and these guys have put down some practice laps getting ready for the race here tonight. We'll see who is most prepared for this challenging race here at COTA for sure. It should be a lot of fun. Looking back last week, though, we're going to look at our last week's results from Atlanta. Jonathan Atkins coming up on top there of that exciting finish at the end there, Tony. Remember that almost 4 wide there at the end. Atkins comes out on top. Tyler Bowers, Fetter Place, your typical front runners there. But what an exciting finish that was.
It was, man. I mean, we had a couple of good, really decent plate tracks, and especially Atlanta, another controversial track. And it was a great race. And the end was a spectacular finish. The guys put on a really good show the whole race, and and now here we are turning right. And it's gonna. Are we ever gonna go back to a normal track?
Yeah, I know it's some guys probably are looking forward to getting back to some typical oval tracks for sure. You look at the points here tonight, though. Richie Coy leading the points, Jonathan Atkins in second. Your two winners, and that highlights the points format this season as well. With those extra points you get for the wins, those wins are really important. They don't lock you into a playoff or anything, but they can be really important as far as setting up who's going to be a champion at the end of the A season.
Well, yeah. The points. I think what does the leader get? They get a pretty hefty point lead over second place. So I mean, it's almost. I mean, if I was in the point battle, I mean, I would definitely rather have the win than the win you're in. Just for the points advantage. And definitely our two guys right now, they're on top. With having those points.
Yeah, I think you get 25 points extra than second or something like that, or 30, almost that, something like that. It's pretty hefty for sure.
Substantial, yeah.
Well, you talk about the tracks that we're at, 2 super speedways and then a road course, and we finally get back to some of these oval tracks. So you got Phoenix Raceway next week, looking at the schedule, and you have Vegas, you go to Darlington, and then Martinsville, a couple of the typical tracks you would expect around the Cup Series.
Yeah, well, Phoenix is another kind of a fun track, not your typical cookie cutter oval. And then, everybody, well, I shouldn't say everybody, but we got Darlington coming up in a couple of weeks. Martinsville should be fun, as usual. Vegas is going to be kind of your first cookie cutter back into the normal realm.
Yeah, should be. I'm looking forward to getting back there and seeing who has the best mile and a half package. To see these short tracks, too. And even tonight, Tony, this is the first taste. Some of these guys are getting that extra horsepower in this series.
Oh, right. Yeah. And I mean, I was actually doing a few practice laps in this car. I mean, I'm no stranger to road racing, and I do enjoy it. And the extra power, I don't know if you really needed it, but it still made the car kind of a challenge. And just trying to cut some good laps and help out a few other guys out there. And it's not easy to get the power down. And that's where we're going to see there was a lot of rolling on this track that I found. You really got to kind of set the corner up and kind of roll into it so you can kind of squeeze that power out of it.
Well, let's look at this track, Tony. Let's look at our race info here for tonight. 53 laps tonight. Your stage lap's going to be lap 20. And here's a diagram of the track. And you talk about some of the challenging parts of this track. Turn 1 is always a challenge on the starts and restarts, getting that car slowed down, although you have the climb of the hill to kind of help you slow down. So it always kind of helps slow the car down. I think the most challenging part of this track, though, is going to be that stadium section. where you have to get there's tight corners. It's kind of a slow section. You really got to get the car slowed down. These tires really like to slide when you get on the brakes, and that makes this part really challenging.
Yeah, you can almost, I mean, as you're going through it, it's like you feel like you want to go a little bit faster, but you know if you do, it's going to screw up your next corner, and it's so tight. And again, well, I call it the pointy corner track because there's what, three major points you got to kind of turn, and I mean they're almost they're more than 90s obviously, and so a couple of them are almost hairpins, and a lot of guys are in first, second gear. Again, you're trying to squeeze the power down, but you don't want to get too much power because you're going to lock them up. The area too that the new area that they added at the end of the S is the left-hander to make that little short shoot. I was getting a lot of wheel hop, and the car was kind of getting a little stable. And then there's that wall that's super close, so it's a real tight, narrow area where you got to go through the tires to the wall barrier. I'm afraid we might see some carnage in that corner as well. So there's a lot of tough spots on this track, to be quite honest.
Yeah, that's what they call 6A, getting into that
Okay.
short shoot section. You got to run down the hill into that corner. That can be challenging as well. After that section, you're going downhill, so the car doesn't want to slow naturally anyway. So you're trying to get it slowed down. That's a tough corner. Although you got plenty of runoff to use, you could see some car contact there. And then, of course, the last corner being more than a 90-degree corner as well is kind of tough getting it turned. But you want to get the power down off that corner, down that long front straightaway. That's your long straightaway here.
Yeah, I mean, if you can roll through the exit and then kind of just apply the gas, and just kind of get that power down, you should be able to turn a pretty decent lap here. And that's really my my theory of how to get around this track. Just because a lot of it is you're just rolling and just trying to get the car to slow down enough to make the next corner and set yourself up. There's really not many places where you can really overly attack because I think the car just gets too out of shape. I wasn't getting a lot of confidence.
Yeah. Well, we'll see who has the confidence tonight to take this victory here at Circuit of the Americas. It's going to take some finesse. It's going to take some aggression at times, possibly, and it's going to take some passing probably to get it done. We'll see who sets themselves up best. But let's looks like they're done with qualifying. Let's throw it over to our starting lineup for the DuraMax 200 here at Full Throttle Sim Racing. Starting on the pole, the number 98 of Nick Alford. He's looking to assert himself into this championship battle. Nick Alford going to lead the field to green here at COTA in his number 98 Toyota. Starting outside of the front row and a front row lockout for High Lap Heroes. It's going to be the 34 of Brandon Fetterplace in his Toyota. Starting third, the number 21, that is Victor Pfluger. He's going to be quick tonight. He was quick in practice, fastest in practice. He's going to start from P3 in his number 21 Chevrolet. The fourth spot going to go to the 61. That is Joshua Gaiman in the Chevrolet. Starting P5 is the number 83. That is Tim Wortman Jr. in his Chevrolet. And starting outside of him, the number 18 Toyota of J.P. Burns. Starting seventh spot is going to be the number 33. That is Ben Tracy. And to his outside is going to be the 19 Ford, the Victory Fuel Ford of Richie Coy. Starting ninth spot, the number 8 Chevrolet, that is going to be Brian Bliss. And to his outside, the number 92 Ford, that is Cameron King. Starting P11 is going to be Julio Villalobos in the number 45 Chevrolet. And to his outside, the number 31 Chevrolet of Jeff Chandler.
All right, starting 13th, you have Kevin Ruff in car number 99. Then you have Robert Fitzpatrick Jr. in car number 28. He's starting 14th. Kermit Henn starting 15th in car 84. Then you have Brian Dixon in the 03. He's starting 16th. Then you have Lewis Meglin in the car 43, starting 17th. Alexander Hodge starting 18th in car 53. Alan Duranco, car number 2, starting 19th. Wayne Grossi, car number 7, and starting 20th. James Torrey, car number 6, in 23rd spot. Then you have Ryan Huff, car 93, in the 21st spot. I'm sorry, everybody's all over on my board here. And then Mason Hoffner, he is in the 30 car, so he's starting 22nd. So actually, we have 23 cars. It looks like James Torrey will be the end of the field here. Well, I don't even see him on track yet, so he might be starting and parking.
Well, I think we have a few starting from the pits. James Torrey, Mason Hoffner, Alan Duranco not on the grid right now. And let's see, Wayne Grassi is rolling, so he'll be the last one on the grid here with Ryan Huff back there. So, Tony, we've got a road course coming up here. You're kind of a road course ace. What do you expect here tonight?
Well, what we found lately, and as way as trends go, you're going to have a couple of speedy guys. And I mean, Victor Fluger was fast in practice. Better Places pretty quick. Nick Alford as well. I mean, we're going to see some pretty good breakaway. It's going to be kind of a parade. It's going to be no different than what we saw yesterday with Tyler Reddick just really dominating the field and leading. I kind of feel like we're going to see that. And there's going to be some good battles for fifth and beyond. I'm gonna call that right now.
Looking forward to it. Racing to lap 20. These guys are getting ready to get a green flag here at COTA. Nick Alford leading the way. Fetter Place on the outside as they come around the final corner, waiting for the green flag to fly. Waiting. And I remember this is kind of a wait. I remember this the last time. So they're going to kind of parade down here, wait for the green flag to fly. There it flies, and we are off and racing here at COTA.
Yeah, we pretty much got a green race. We have our stage at lap 20. Other than that, there's probably going to be no green flag stops or anything like that. It's going to be straight up race here.
Well, we got 3 wide for second right now. They've kind of sorted that out as they're now back 2 wide for third as Brendan Fetterplace takes over second spot. Everybody finding a place to kind of ride at this point.
Well, it's kind of like what we saw yesterday. Everybody fans in turn 1. Turn 1 does give you plenty of options to, get 3 wide, 4 wide, even 5 wide. I think we saw yesterday. And but by the time you get to the S's, you want to find yourself single file because there's really no good line to double file through that S section.
Oh, Jeff Chandler off the track back there having an issue. He's let everybody go now. Might just be pulling over here, but everybody just trying to get sorted out here. We got Ben Tracy around. That downhill corner, it's what I talked about. That's going to be challenging. He's going to get it righted, though, get it going once again, but loses all that track position.
Yeah, sometimes you got to be careful. You really got to hit your braking points, and I recommend that you kind of brake a little bit early and get the car slowed down just enough. Again, you want to kind of roll through some of these hairpin corners to get that power down. And I don't know, when you're surrounded by so many cars too, you might lose your braking zone. You might lose that point of brake, and you might drive it in a little too deep. So you always got to kind of be careful with stuff like that.
Because Victor Fluger, I thought he was going to look to the inside of Fetter Place. Fetter Place holds on, though. As we come to complete lap 1, it's going to be Nick Alford, Brandon Fetter Place, Victor Fluger, your top 3.
And this race too is going to be a night of survival. We said it last couple of weeks with the speedway races, but this place as well. And usually the guy that makes the least amount of mistakes is going to be the guy that you're going to see that's going to be able to at least get a top 10 out of it. And obviously our winner is going to have a flawless night as well, just because there looks like to be some pretty good competition here tonight.
Yeah, you got me hungry now talking about steaks.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm trying to think, like, who's the Shane Van Ginsberg of the league right now, and I don't think we actually really have one. We just got some pretty decent talent out there right now, but nobody's considered like the road course pro or whatnot. But we've got some, like I say, good lap times, and I've been seeing some decent stuff during practice, so it's really tough to call who's going to maybe lead this race. I mean, right now, though, Nick Alford's doing a great job, though, staying out front. We do know the clean air is king, and during my practice, I was not, riding behind cars, so I really don't know if the aero is really affecting these cars as much as we do see on like speedways and mile and a half.
We had an issue with Ben Tracy here.
Man, again.
No, same issue. I'm just looking at the replay, trying to see what happened. Just goes down into the corner, locks up to his rear tires, and goes around on him. And while that was happening, something has happened to the 19 of Richie Coy. He's fallen back a couple positions. Let's go back and see what happened to him. Coming into the stadium section, we talked about how challenging this is. He tries to get it slowed down, hops the curb. That's fine there. Oh, gets back in the gas and just loops it. There, coming out of the first couple of corners of the stadium section.
Well, he found that extra horsepower. Unfortunately, he found it probably in a spot he didn't want to find it in. But there again, though, too. I mean, it's I know Richie has not had a lot of practice. Ben Tracy, though, however, he was one of the guys that was trying to help out over the weekend and try to get him a little bit more speed and a little bit more confidence in the car. I don't know if it helped much. If he does good, I really helped him. If he doesn't do good, I didn't teach him that.
Cabin Ruff having an issue up the top of the hill, turn 1. Gets it turned around, righted, and going. Let's see if we can see what happened to him. A couple of guys struggling early on here. Looks like he was battling with. No, he was actually in front of the battle behind him. Let's see, he goes into the corner. See if he locks up or what happens there. Just seems like he just couldn't get the car slowed down enough. Slides out in the dirt.
Yeah, you really got to have all your focus, and you really got to race the track, not necessarily race the other cars, especially too. I mean, I'm looking at the group behind it, Cabin Rough, right now, and there is just a gaggle of cars right now, and they're all fighting for spots. And it just you don't want to get distracted by the other cars, even though you got to pay attention to them. You just want to try to race the track and definitely try not to make a mistake. Let the other guy make the mistake.
Again, these guys have 20 laps to race to the stage, so kind of a long stage here. And we'll see if tires actually matter as these guys go on. Right now, Nick Alford doing a good job, kind of pulled away from Brandon Fetter place in second. And they've kind of spaced out. The whole top five right here is kind of spaced out, got equal space in between them.
Yeah, they've been kind of keeping it spicy up front. I mean, I kind of figured there was going to be a little bit of dominance like we normally see with the first couple of cars, but
still a couple of issues. Ryan Huff getting loose off the corner, spins off the last corner there. I don't think he hit anything. He's going to keep going, but loses track position here.
Yeah, that's the one thing. I'm in the blimp cam, and I'm going to tell you, it's the track is pretty big, so it's kind of hard to see everything going on. I mean, we have a lot of spacing out as well as far as our field goes. I mean, Nick Alford right now, he is just entering the stadium section, and Rob Fitzpatrick Jr. is just coming out of the carousel. He's our first guy to maybe go a lap down right now. So, yeah, I mean, we've got the track is completely saturated with cars. Well, he's pitting right now.
He is pitting. He's going to be pitting here. He's I don't know if he's got some damage or what, but looks like it wasn't going well for him. He was struggling for grip, and like I said, you could hit one of those. You know, get a little damage and damage one of those. I won't say tie rods. You know what they're called.
Yeah.
And it can really
control arm or whatever.
You're gonna have a hard time controlling the car. Lewis Meglin spins in the slow section there. Gets it going.
Oh yeah. Again, you gotta kind of pay attention to what you're doing out there and make sure you're racing the track and do not lose focus at all, especially in some of these corners. It's real easy to do, especially too when you're having a good battle. Maybe you're trying to catch the guy in front of you a little bit, and just one little, even if you're 10 feet later braking, or you're just on the gas just a hair too early. It could definitely throw off the car. And we know how bad the car handles, when we see it go sideways. It's got that pendulum effect. Well, it's no different here on the road course as well. It still does the same trickery. So, again, I could not find true confidence driving the car with the practice laps that I did. It just was not very inspirational, I guess. Compared to the trucks we ran at Long Beach, and we had a really great race, and it was a lot of fun. So this is a whole different animal, whole different beast out here.
Yeah, it's a lot of this track's about rhythm, especially, like I said, through the stadium section. Even up here, this next section, we're right on board with 83 of Tim Wortman Jr. This section right here, you just got to be so patient through these long right-handers right here. You just have to wait, and you finally can get back on the gas.
Yeah, and there's a gear change in there as well, too. I mean, but yeah, like you say, a lot of guys are coming out of there in maybe first or second gear, and they're just half throttle, kind of going around half of that thing, and then you got upshift, and then just try to finish it. And you think, too, the carousel, usually a lot of carousels, you can hold a decent speed and just kind of, cream it around that big, long corner, just like you would on a regular oval. But no, that's not the case here on this thing. It's kind of segmented as well, and it's a tricky carousel as well. I mean, it's the whole track is pretty tough, and that's where I'm starting to kind of like it, but I'm still kind of not liking it. I mean, give me Sonoma the Glen any day over this.
It's definitely going to be a challenge all day for these guys. And actually, things starting to kind of tighten up behind the 34. Brandon Fetter plays in second there. Things starting to back up. You got Victor Pfluger right there, Joshua Gaiman in the wings, and of course Tim Wortman watching on back there as well.
Yeah, that battle for second's really been kind of cooking. And Nick Alford's just doing a great job though out front. He's still kind of extending that lead, and yeah, I'm kind of waiting to see a little bit of fireworks and a little spiciness going on back there because yeah, they're really starting to kind of pounce on Fetter Place.
Yeah, right now Alfred has a 2.2 second lead over second place Brendan Fetter Place. And honestly, in this situation, when you start looking in your mirrors, you know the guys are closer. You start driving a little more defensively, you can lose more and more time. Like it's when you're focused in the mirror, you're not really focused driving forward. You're focused more of trying to protect what you've got, and that can lead to some issues.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah, and I mean, yeah, you want your focus forward, not behind you. And when you know you got somebody kind of lurking down the back of your neck there, it's tough, especially in some of these corners. You know, we just saw him enter the last corner, and that is a good passing zone, to be quite honest. I mean, we're going to see some passing in the last corner and especially in the first corner. Those are decent zones where you can maybe outbreak them or maybe just get a little bit better run because you have a decent length of straightaway to kind of make something happen.
A little bit of lockup for Fluger there, getting into turn one, trying to get closer to that 34 Fetter Place. Fetter Place actually starting to kind of stretch it out on him right now as the 61 of Gaiman starts closing in on the 21.
Yeah, well, it's a fact. You got Fetter Place looking in the mirror. Now you got Fluger looking in the mirror. Joshua Gaiman's going to eventually be looking in the mirror too, because here comes Wortman. I mean, he's starting to kind of close in on them as well. So nobody's looking forward. They're all looking at who's behind them. And that's when the mistakes happen. And there goes Wortman. Yeah, gets a little sideways.
Oh, he saves it though.
He did, yeah.
Didn't lose a position, just lost some track time and probably lost some tire life in that one as well.
Well, yeah, too. Yeah, if you get the tires overheated as well, and especially just like a little spin like that, it's enough to kind of screw you up for a good lap or two until those tires kind of come back down to temperature and you can get some grip and maybe even some confidence again in them. It does, though. I'll tell you, it kind of feels like you're driving around on plastic tires out there. It's very slick. You really can't lean into a corner like you would think you would be able to. It's tough.
Yeah, it's just funny to watch these guys. Oh, you see Joshua Gaiman have an issue there out of the corner. Kind of ebb and flow in different parts of the section. You can tell some guys are stronger in some sections than others. That might be car setup. It may be. Got an issue.
Oh, there's Ryan. Fluger. Fluger had an issue in turn one. Yeah, he smoked him up, and Gaiman gets by him.
Yeah, we had an issue with Ryan Huff back there as well. Looks like he got going. But yeah, Fluger having a moment there, and that opens the door for Gaiman. That's what you want to do, is put pressure on the guy in front of you. Hope they make a mistake. Yep. And Josh was able to take advantage of that right there.
Yeah, well, you don't want to lose your focus out here for sure. And I'll probably be saying that another 300 times tonight, and it's the truth. This track has got a little bit of everything, and like I say, pointy corners as well. There's a lot of hard braking zones. There's a lot of real sharp corners. You have the S's up front, which are kind of a beast on their own. You got the carousel. There's a lot of different regimens of this track that you don't find at many tracks, and it kind of shows your hand too, like you were saying, like, oh, some guys a little better here and some guys a little better there. There's different parts of that track that do play into some of these guys, and a lot of it too, it could be just hardware, the wheel and pedals you're using and stuff. So I mean, there's just there's going to be better and worse for a lot of these drivers out there. If that doesn't make any sense, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, just watching some of these guys, just some of the replays of the guys kind of struggling at different parts of this track. The braking points are difficult. The braking angles are difficult. This car braking in general is kind of difficult too at times, just because of how stiff it is. Well, we have a battle for a second, though, as Joshua Gaiman starting to put pressure on the 34 Fetter Place now. He's gotten around Fluger, and he's putting that new track position to work here.
Yeah, definitely. He started closing on Fetter Place, and we know Fetter Place is just kind of slowly trailing a little bit from Nick Alford. So Fetter Place has got a new car in his mirror. He's just gonna have to keep looking at it. But I'm looking at we got J.P. Burns in 6th place right now, and he's in this front first pack. They're just entering the stadium section. Cameron King is just getting out of the S's, and he's sitting seventh, and he is kind of on his own little island right there. Then now you have Julio, Richie Coy, Ben Tracy, and Brian Bliss right now in another 4-pack, and they are just entering the back straight section right now too. So I mean, we've got two distinct packs. Pretty good right now. Looks like Richie Coy's getting under Julio Villalobos, trying to make that pass. It looks like he's going to get it. Well, I don't know. Here comes Julio. Ooh, that's tight.
Oh, that is tight racing right there. It looks like the 33 Ben
Yeah.
Tracy trying to take advantage of that as well. Can't quite do it there. Let's see if he ducks inside here, and he does.
He is going to try and make it happen.
Oh.
That is a tough pass zone right there for Ben, but he was trying to make it work.
Well, it's tough because this next corner goes to the right forever. So if
Yep.
you're on the outside, you have the advantage, and he retakes that position. So that's a tough pass to make.
While that's happening, though, Richie Coy's starting to kind of pull out from them, although he gets really wide in that second to last corner. Is that what, turn 10?
19? I think it's the last corner, turn 20 is what I heard. So I don't know.
Is it?
You have to
Yeah, I
back
don't
up from
know.
there and see what the other corner numbers are.
Yeah, I don't remember. Okay, here comes Ben Tracy now trying to make that pass in turn 1 here.
I think they go from 6A to 6B to 13. Like they skip a lot of numbers because of the rest of the track.
Man, Julio's still able to stay out front. He's going to be able to get this lead. Well, I don't know. Maybe not. They're too wide in the S's.
Ooh, that's tough to
Ben-
do.
Yeah, Ben did have the preferred line there going in the S's. He did make that pass.
All right, so Ben Tracy up to 9th. Julio Villalobos hanging on to the 10th.
Oh.
Not any longer. As Brian Bliss is going to sweep through and take that position.
Yeah, it almost looked like Julio kind of gave up there in that corner. I don't know if he just got a little tight or just, I'll tell you, the S's are tough with the main fact that if you get off of the first S, if you can't like make it through the first S, the rest of the S's are all screwed up. So it really kills your momentum and your rhythm going through that section.
Julio had another issue there getting down in that
Yeah.
downhill. And here's Brian Dixon in the 03 all over the back bumper.
Yeah, looks like
think
Brian
it's-
Dixon's going to pass him as well.
I think it's
So.
teammates there. So he's like, go ahead.
Well, we're 10 in. I mean, we still got again. I was going to say they're not necessarily in for points for the stage. I mean, they're 11th and 12th right now, or 12th and 13th right now. Or no, they are 11th and 12th. So they're out of the stage points as it is. But we got stage coming in our 10 laps. So maybe there might be a little bit of change they need to do when they go to pit.
What I'm interested to see too, Tony, is with the stage being 20 laps, you could see some guys pit before the end of the stage here and stay out and possibly make it to the end of this race. So, if you want to pit for track position, you have a few laps on your tires. Is it worth it? If you're back in the pack, maybe. But if you're too far back, you might get a lap trying to do it. So, I don't know. It just could be interesting here.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you're going to have to, weigh your options because, the track is a lot shorter. If it was the full track, you definitely probably would not go a lap down. But, if you're towards the back end of the pack right now, that might be a risky move to actually try to come in and pit.
I tell you what, Nick's doing a nice job out front, just kind of maintaining that lead here over Brandon Fetterplace. Although it is coming down 1.2 seconds between him and Fetterplace. Fetterplace starting to close in just a little bit, and Joshua Gaiman all over his back bumper, maybe encouraging him to push a little harder.
I was going to say exactly that. Yeah. Joshua got on Fetterplace's bumper there, and Brandon picked it up a little bit. And I don't know, maybe just Nick's relaxing a little bit, but that gap it's down to about 1 second now. Definitely starting to heat up. So, I mean, we definitely do not have a dominant road course driver in this series. I mean, I guess on Wednesday's race, we had two guys battling all night. I mean, they were pretty much the class of the field. We're not really seeing that too much tonight, although Nick is doing a fantastic job being out front.
Got a battle for ninth. Richie Coy trying to hold off Brian Bliss. Brian's caught him here. Actually, in front of both of them is Ben Tracy in the 33, so Tracy able to get both of those guys.
Oh, and Richie spins.
Richie hard into the Armco there off of turn 1. He's going to try to get this turned around. He's going to have to find a clear spot, and he does. Gets it turned around.
Yeah, he's still in the grass, just trying to get up in. And as I said, here comes Wayne Grassi.
Here comes Wayne. A couple of these guys are going to have the momentum to get by him here. I think Richie's just going to stay out of the way here, and he does.
Wow. Yeah, Richie lost quite a bit of spots there. About 6 spots, I'd almost say.
That's your points leader. And
He's
actually,
got a little house money to play with, but maybe not that much.
I mean, mentioning points, your second place in points is not here either. The 57 of Jonathan Atkins not making the call tonight.
All right, yeah. Very interesting.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Where did Joshua Gaiman go?
I was just gonna, yeah. He's in 4th right now. He must have had uh-oh.
And I don't see it popping up on my screen, so I'm not sure where that happened.
I had the most exciting, but it happened. It must have happened in one of the last 2 corners there, because oh yeah, second to last corner, he got really wide and sideways. Didn't hit anything, but definitely lost the spot to Victor.
Tim Wortman back here watching all this craziness. Right here in 5th, just kind of plugging along. No issues here. I'm interested to see too the difference in the tires, the tire wear, how that's going to affect some of these guys.
Well, sliding those tires like we just saw a couple of the guys, it's definitely not going to help you. And I'll tell you too, I mean, Feder Place, he's lost some ground to Nick Elford. So maybe not having that pressure behind him kind of took a little speed. Either that or Nick was sandbagging a little bit, maybe just saving some stuff, because yeah, he's back up to about a 1.5-second gap.
Yeah, there's your second place. Brendan Feder Place. Victor Fluger there now in 3rd. Joshua Gaiman back here in 4th. That's all it takes, man. It's just one small mistake like that.
Yep. Well, and that's why you got to concentrate and have the utmost focus and race the track. Try not to race the cars around you. Make sure you're hitting your marks, and don't let this car surprise you, even though it'll jump out and surprise you anytime. Anytime it really wants to.
Yeah, just looking back, Tim Wortman in 5th. There's J.P. Burns in 6th spot. And then you're going to wait a minute to see any other cars. That's Cameron King in 7th, having a solid night, up 3 positions from where he started. Just kind of cruising out there by himself on his own island there. You got Ben Tracy behind him trying to close in there in the 33 Dunkin' Donuts machine. He's been around already, but he's trying to rebound, and so far so good. He's climbed back up through the field. You got Brian Bliss there in 9th spot in the number 8 machine, and then Brian Dixon closing out your top 10 right now. Dixon actually up 6 spots from where he started.
Yeah, Brian having a pretty good night. Ben as well. Ben actually is running a little bit quicker than Cameron King right now, so Cameron's might have a little bit of competition before we see this stage here.
Biggest mover so far, though, is going to be the 7 car, Wayne Grassi, back here in 12th spot. Wayne having a solid night. Not known as a road course racer, really, but just having a solid night. He's actually going to pull over and let is that Kermit Henney through in the 84. So Grassi's still having a really solid night, taking care of his car, taking care of his equipment, and just slowly kind of climbing through the field and taking advantage when people have issues.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, Wayne is definitely not what you consider a road course guy, but he bought the track a couple of years ago when we started coming here, and he's been coming here. I'd almost even say maybe he's having a little bit of fun with it, because he's not looking too bad out there.
Nah. Nice, solid. Oh, is that Kermit Henney? Had an issue
Kermit
there.
Henney, yeah.
He's lost a couple spots. He's going to fall behind him and Kevin Ruff, so Henney loses a few positions.
Yeah, he had a hard time getting the power down in the start of the stadium section.
All right, we got a battle for 3rd brewing here. Fluger has caught Joshua Gaiman and putting pressure on him now, and Tim Wortman right there with him as well.
Well, no, I think Joshua Gaiman actually got a spot back somehow. We must have missed that.
At turn 1, I believe. Let's go back and look and see what happened here. Turn 1, Gaiman following Victor Fluger. Gaiman wide there a little bit. Fluger bouncing over the curb. Actually, it happened. Oh, man. They are battling hard. Turn 2, actually. As Fluger's going to let Gaiman through right there.
Now they got a Tim Wharton behind the two of them right now, and they've got a pretty good little battle going brewing right now. Oh, game against is a little slippery.
He gets
There
wide
goes
and
Fluger
starts
by again.
slipping and sliding. Fluger back through. Retakes third position. Now Tim Wortman's like, all right, you guys keep mixing it up. I'm going to take both of these positions.
They've been swapping more spots. I almost think they're playing musical chairs out there. Here comes Wortman though on Joshua Gaiman here. He's ready to pounce. Man, that's a tight little battle there for third.
It is. Actually, Gaiman gets a really good run off the last corner, turn 20. Into turn 1, looking to the inside of Fluger, just kind of showing his nose. Fluger's going to give it to him once again. And Fluger actually, yeah, he's going to, thought he might fight back there, but he's going to give it to him.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was saying earlier. That last corner down that front straight, that is really one of your best passing zones. You know, you might be able to get a little bit better exit and do exactly what Joshua did, kind of get that run down the front straightaway. You got a pretty good straightaway. You just got to be careful, though. When you're climbing back uphill, getting ready for that left-hander in turn 1, you don't lock up the tires and you try to give your competitor a little bit of room there. But if you can slightly outbrake him and get the power down before you get to those S's, you'll be able to make that pass happen pretty easy. I say that pretty easy, but it's not that easy.
It's easy, simple. 15 laps complete here at Cutover, coming up on that stage break. And these points could be crucial. 3rd, 4th, and 5th. That's 8, 7, and 6 points.
Yeah, I'm watching Nick Elford, man. He's really stepped up his game. He's doubled his time over Brandon Fetterplace. I mean, Brandon's running a pretty good second place right now, but Nick is definitely he's out there and just running great laps right now.
Class of the field right now, 98.34.
And he's still running in the, just looking at some of his lap times, he's been running consistently. I don't even want to say the teenage buzzwords, but he's been running 7s and 6s throughout the last 5 or 6 laps here.
The last 6, 7 laps?
Yeah. I don't even want to say that. Don't make me say it. Yeah, he's cutting some pretty good laps. And, I mean, during practice, too, we were seeing guys running the 34s, 35s, you know, and I'm assuming those were qualifying trims. Best I could do was a 7 myself. You know, yeah, we got some pretty fast guys out there right now. And they're still, I mean, especially 17 laps in with Nick Elford, and he's still running 7s right now. I mean, that's he's got that car hooked up right now.
Yeah, his best lap is a 136.3. And his last lap was 137.9, so not much of a fall off considering the length of the track. I mean, that is over a second, but you got to consider how long the track is and where you can lose and gain time. That's really not much of a fall off for those guys up front. I tell you, Wortman's gotten by Fluger. Now he just locked up there, and he's locking up again, trying to get into the corner. I think those guys are just trying to survive here to the end of the stage.
Well, it goes back to that rhythm you were talking about, too. Ooh. I mean,
Tony,
especially in this. What happened?
We got Villalobos on pit road. Is he one of the guys that's going to pit here and then flip the stage?
It might be a little early to do that, but yeah, he might be able to do that.
He's going to go lap down doing it. I don't think that was the case because he's going to go lap down right here as Nick Alford comes around. I'll tell you what, Jeff Chandler not far from going a lap down in front of the leaders as well. And who's that in front of him? Lewis Meglin as well. So those guys are going to try to hang on here. Actually, looks like the 31's going to yield to the leader here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty wild. 18 laps in right now, and we are, we're already lapping cars already. So I mean, it just shows you the pace Nick Alford, the top of the top right now are doing. And Jeff Chandler, I mean, he's no slouch on a road course. I know this car isn't very. Lewis Meglin, huge hit, right in front of Nick Alford, the leader.
He's gonna pull it off into the grass and out of the way.
Yeah, he locked up, and the rear end just came right around him. He hit the inside wall right before the stadium section. Wow.
Let's go back and look and see what that was all about here. Getting a little cut through there. Gets down to the backstretch, hits the brakes. and it just takes off to the left there. Big
Yeah.
hit to the left front or right front.
I'm sure Nick Elford was probably brown pants moment at that point when he's watching that happen in front of him.
All right, Richie
It
Coy.
hasn't slowed him down though. Yeah, Richie Coy's in.
He's on pit road, but he just went a lap down as well. So, wonder if he's going to try to get the wave around when they. But he's still starting to back. I don't know.
Yeah, well, Jeff Chandler right now too. He's still gonna be our lucky dog right now. As he's letting some more leaders go by, he is still gonna be the first car lap down. And Lewis Meglin actually still out there. I'm kind of surprised. I thought maybe he had too much damage and was maybe just gonna pit, but no, he's still out there as well. So Richie's definitely gonna have a couple of guys in front of him here. And kind of what I said earlier too, we completely missed it, but Ben Tracy did eventually get around Cameron King, and now Brian Bliss is actually starting to kind of catch Cameron King, and I don't know, he's got Brian Dixon right behind him as well, and I don't know if they're going to get it done before this lap is over here.
The Brian and Brian show here, 9th and 10th. And yeah, Bliss trying to run down Cameron King in 8th there. You're talking about Ben Tracy. He's passed him and pulled away, so.
Yeah, Ben's doing pretty good going forward at least. He's almost on his own little island right now. But yeah, we got the Brian and two Brians against one King. And let's see, because yeah, I think we should be getting the yellow what in about one lap. Looks like Brian's going to make that pass. He's almost got him cleared.
Doing it the hard way around the outside.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And he does. He gets a pass completed. So Brian Bliss up in the 8th spot. Now Brian Dixon trying to take a shot at Cameron King here. But you're right. One lap away from the stage. These guys know the caution's going to come out here shortly. So you got to get these passes done.
Well, something you got to remember with Brian too, you know, he runs kind of an F1 style wheel because he's running all hand controls, and he doesn't get like a full rotation out of a round wheel. So these pointy corners out here are a little tougher for him, just to get the car cut, you know, like having a round wheel. So that outside line is probably his preferred line going to the stadium section, just because he's got, you know, he doesn't have to turn the wheel as much. He made it work though, real well.
All this happening behind Nick Alford, who's entered, leaving the stadium section for the last time here. Brandon Fetterplace behind him there in second.
Brandon ran him down, maybe got about a second within the last couple of laps here. So Brandon's got like a second win. Unfortunately, it's going to be a little too late, though, to get that stage win.
Seems to smoke out of that corner. But anyway, coming through the final corner, it's going to be Nick Alford taking home the stage win here tonight at COTA. As he comes down the front stretch, you'll see that green and white checkered flag. And that will end our stage here tonight. There you see it. So Nick Alford, your stage winner. 10 points to Nick Alford. 9th to Brandon Fetterplace. You got Josh O'Gaiman, Tim Wortman, Victor Pfluger, your top 5. J.P. Burns picks up 6th spot. Ben Tracy's going to be in 7th. Brian Bliss in 8th. Cameron King holds on to that 9th spot. And Brian Dixon getting that final stage point.
Yeah, just to show you the difference, too. J.P. just got into turn 1. Ben Tracy is just coming out of the carousel right now. So that's our, I don't even want to say the numbers again, but that's our 7th to 6th place split right now.
Well, you're all over that tonight. 6th and 7th there.
I you know, yeah, for some reason they want me to say it, but I refuse.
All right, as everybody gets caught up for this this single pit stop we have tonight, we won't have any.
Yeah, the key is too. I mean, Jeff Chandler should be our lucky dog recipient. Richie's probably going to stay out for the stage, maybe, or you know, he's going to get the waiver on. Unfortunately, though, he's still going to get pushed to the back of the field. with the wave around. So it's not going to work out the way he probably intended it to.
I don't think the night's gone the way he intended to begin with so far tonight. It's been kind of a struggle.
Yeah, well, this package is a little different, and it is a little tough. And I know he didn't get much practice either. And I mean, he's a former race winner here as well, too. So yeah, it's definitely not the night he's been wanting to have. Although I think he won on the larger track, if I'm not mistaken. Which I am happy that NASCAR has shortened the track. They gave us a half the track, and I am happy with iRacing's new track limits. They've kind of given us a little bit more breathing room to make some wider corners, something that you normally see on a Sunday race, and it has made the track a little bit more pleasurable to experience. It'd be nice if there's just a little bit more grip. That's all.
You can always use some extra grip for sure. I know what you mean, though.
Yeah.
I agree 100%. But those are some of the guys, some struggling for grip more than others around this track tonight.
Yeah, and I haven't seen too many cars do a lot of the hopping either. I mean, that's where I was, like I said, I was having a lot of issues just with the car hopping around a little bit as well. And haven't really seen a lot of that, but yeah, definitely a few lockups. And having a hard time trying to get that new 80 horsepower down to the ground here. It's new and improved, right?
Yeah. Well, let's see what happens on these pit stops. You can shuffle some. The easiest pass you're going to make tonight is going to be on pit road. So you're going to have a good stop, good, solid in, solid out, and see if you can pick up some positions here. And if you're Nick Alford, you don't want to give up control of this restart either. That's really important. If your leader, the leader can go. Yeah, you have kind of the preferred lane into turn one.
Well, yeah, you just want to be clean, get in and you're out of your box. I know the pit stalls are a little tighter here than normal as well. And at least they're all pitting on the same left-hand side like they normally are. So you just got to get into that box, get your tires, get your fuel. I can't imagine we're going to see nobody, in years past, people would just stay out on the old tires as well. But I have a feeling we're going to see 4 tire changes by everybody as well. I'd be really shocked if somebody's going to not actually take tires tonight.
Well, here they come.
It is a bit of a tight entry going into pit road as well, too. That's always a sketchy area.
While they're making their stops for tires and fuel, just want to remind you, you want to check out Victory Fuel. Go to drinkvictory.com, use code FTSR for 10% off your order. Get some Lucky Lemon, Throttle Punch, Purple Potion. Definitely want to check that stuff out. Great stuff by a great group of people. I guess, again, drinkvictory.com is where you want to go. Use code FTSR, 10% off your order. Victory Fuel, proud sponsor of the Victory Fuel Cup Series here at FTSR.
Everybody looked pretty good on pit road. I did see four tires from everybody. The only change I seen, Tim Wortman Jr. did beat Victor Fluger out. So, although was Tim Wortman in before Victor? Maybe
I think he was already ahead of him.
He was already there. So okay. So yeah. So really no change then.
No change in the top
go back
5.
and double check.
Burns in 6th was there. 7th was Tracy. 8th was So I think our top 9 are the same. Although Kevin Ruff did jump up to 10th spot on pit road over Brian Dixon. So that's the only change in the top 10, though.
Let me see if Kevin Ruff did anything special or fancy.
He must have took fart tires.
Yeah. Fart tires. Yeah,
What
no,
accent? What accent is
yeah.
that?
Yeah.
They talk the
Uh,
fire tires.
Far Scar and 7 years ago. Fire tires and 7 laps ago.
Yeah. All
I
right.
don't know. Just had a good exit there. Yeah, Kevin just beat out Brian.
All right. So Jeff Chandler takes the wave around. He's or the lucky dog. He's on pit road getting his service now. Richie Coy looks like he did. Oh, yeah, he's behind the pace car. So is he going to take the wave around here? I guess.
Yeah, and I believe Lewis Meglin as well. And I don't remember Lewis Meglin actually pitting before the stage. So I'm wondering if he's actually has tires or not.
Well, they may pit this time. This is their second time by. So let's see.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't think you can if you're going for the wave around. I mean, we know Richie did take.
If you're going for the wave around, you can't. But actually, those guys are going to stay out. So apparently, not much damage to the 43 like we thought. He's going to hang out there. And actually, Villalobos in front of our leaders as well, the 45. So him falling back as well. Are they going to get the one to go here? If they do, you're going to see these cars kind of rocket around and try to get back around. And there they go.
Yeah.
And they got a ways to go in one lap.
Yes, they do. And, Richie almost getting a little loose trying to get up to speed there. I'm curious to know if Richie's going to maybe even extend the caution for himself.
Right.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be for himself, but it would be for some of the other guys. Unfortunately, though, him being, he'll be back on the lead lap, but yeah, he's going to be on the tail end. Well, actually, everybody should be back on the lead lap after this.
We'll see if they get caught up here. And Alan Duranko on pit road as well. He comes off pit road, pitting a second time. All right, let's do a Richie check. They're in the S's here. He's entering the stadium section.
They might have enough time to get back. I mean, the pace car is only doing about 40 miles an hour, so and they just got through the S's, starting on the mini backstretch now. And I'll tell you, that left-hander going from the little short chute into the little mini back straight downhill section, that's actually become a fun corner there because you can kind of get a good roll and you really got the power down. It's not a super pointy corner. It's not a 90 either. It's more like a 75 degree or 60 degree angle. And it's a lot of fun trying to get the power down. You could really almost clip the wall. You don't get any off tracks or anything like that.
You talking about the one exiting the short
the
chute?
Exiting, yes, exiting.
Cut through.
Yes, yeah, it's a fun corner.
Yeah. All right, well, we're going to get a reset here. Nick Alford still leading. Brandon Vetter placed in second. Joshua Gaiman, Tim Wortman, Victor Pfluger, your top five here. And it brings everybody back together. Speaking of back together, where's Richie Coy and those guys? They're back there in the short chute.
Yep, he's got that corner I was just talking about right now. So he's still got a little ways to catch up there. It doesn't look like he's going to extend it. It doesn't also look like he's going to make it.
But they got a couple corners. And remember, we don't go green right off the last corner either. So they...
Very true. Yeah, that's true. Oh, well, he just spun.
He did spin. Oh, into the Armco
Nose
as well.
first in a wall. Well, now, too, I'm sure Victor and Lewis Meglin, they might actually have to give Richie back that spot.
That's true, too. Waiting to see if
We're
the green
ready.
comes out here.
Yeah, we're taking the green here.
Green
It's
flag
out.
flies.
This is the most exciting part, too, when you see them all fan out going into turn one. Hopefully there's no carnage.
Oh, everybody goes wide. Nick Alford way wide. That's going to open the door for everybody else. Here comes
Joshua
Joshua
Gaiman.
Gaiman to the lead.
Yeah. Wow.
As they snake through this this S section, the S's, and it's a lot of fun to kind of watch this point of view here. Joshua Gaiman up to the on point now. He's had a quick car all night. Let's see if he can hang on to it. Brandon Fetter placed in second. Pfluger in third. Wortman fourth. Nick Alford drops to fifth. Oh, we got some issues back there as well. It's like Brian Bliss had a little bit of an excursion there off the corner you were talking about.
Well, you can't get close to that inside barrier. You definitely don't want to hit the inside barrier, and the car does get pretty light on exit too. So it's one of those things where you got to kind of manage that throttle. I think it's exactly what Brian kind of went with. He was able to hang on to it though pretty well.
Oh, there goes your Joshua Gaiman, sliding through the right-handers there, loses all those positions, opens the door for Brandon Fetterplace to take the lead, and now Victor Pfluger putting pressure on him as he goes wide.
Oh, man. Well, they are Colt tires as well, so, man, a lot of shaking up happening right now.
And Tracy trying to hang on to that position. Got J.P. Burns all over his back bumper. Right behind him is Joshua Gaiman trying to reclaim that position. Here comes J.P. Burns to the inside of the 33. Does he make the corner? No, he overshoots it. Here comes the 33 back through the crossover to reclaim that fifth spot.
Yeah, JP's got a little Joshua Gaiman kind of going side by side. Joshua kind of relinquishes it in the S's there. Allows Ben to kind of get away. We've seen Joshua in the past too. I mean, he made a great bout for the lead there, but unfortunately, he got out of shape. We just got to see how he's going to be able to get through the field too. I've said this about other guys. Yeah, you gotta, you don't want to beat yourself out there, and you just want to be, you got to have that focus. Even though you're kind of behind the eight ball a little bit, you want to just make sure you're still pretty smooth. You don't want to hurt your night any worse.
Well, we've seen so far tonight, we've seen a couple guys beat themselves, at least put them behind the eight ball here, with Alfred going wide in turn one, and then Joshua Gaiman having an issue while leading, spinning through the, what do they call this, the carousel?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all a question of how you can rebound and get back up on it. And some of these guys just try not to make any mistakes. Oh, we got another issue. Joshua Gaiman having issues again as he spins.
Oh, man. He's got a lot of cars going by him right now. And he has gone from first to out of the top 10 within, I think he's going to be 15th right now.
See what happened to Josh here, pushing it through.
Kerman Henn had an issue.
And he just clips that curve and gets it out of shape and spins it around.
What we've been saying though, you just gotta have that focus, and you definitely don't want to hurt yourself worse. And especially too, after one spin, your tire's going to be hot. The car's not going to want to do what it wants to do. I mean, your tires aren't really even up to temp, and then you're going to get, the rear's overheated. It's just going to make the thing handle even worse.
I'll tell you what, if Brandon Fetterplace doesn't make a mistake, he could be on for a win here tonight. Him and Nick Alford were the class of the field. He's going to be hard to pass, but as I say that, Victor Pfluger starting to put some pressure on the 34. We saw that early in the run that he was able to do so, but he kind of fell off late through the run.
Well, and I'm curious to know if anybody actually made any changes to the car as well. Victor was very fast in practice, but yeah, he kind of fell off a little bit, and it was actually letting some guys go. I think he restarted fourth. Nick obviously had that issue, but Nick's got a fast car tonight too, and this is the long run of the race. I mean, they've got a little over 30 laps to go to finish this off, and you're going to have to do a little bit more saving too. If you didn't have the tire after the first 20 laps, you're definitely not. It's not going to help be any better for the last 30. Yeah, Fairplace is looking pretty good out there, and he was pretty strong. I mean, he had speed. He didn't look out of shape at all. Him and Nick Alford both were probably the two. Well, obviously they were 1 and 2 through the first stage, and they were doing it because they were making no mistakes. They were just running a good, clean race.
Watching this battle back here between Wayne Grassi, Alan Duranco, and Joshua Gaiman. Allen got that spot and ran wide, gave it back to Wayne, and here goes Joshua trying to regain some spots.
Yeah, Joshua, unfortunately, he's going to have to deal with lap traffic, or not really lap traffic, but he's got traffic in front of him now, and he's definitely behind, way behind the field where he wants to be. But he's just got to be smooth and just try to get by these guys cleanly.
Not only that, but he's been spun twice. His tires are not going to like the condition they're in. Ryan Huff having an issue.
Oh, there goes Duranko around Grassi. Grassi got a little tight in that last, what is that, 6B you said? Or 6A?
Yeah.
It was a gift for Joshua. Joshua's going around Duranko now, too.
Victor Pfluger around off track.
Oh, man.
Let's go back and see what happened to Victor. He was having such a great run in second there. Chasing down the 34 Fetter place.
Ooh, he actually had a little contact.
Let's see what happens here. Oh, he slows down Nick Alford. Contact with Alford there sends the 21 of Pfluger around.
And that is probably the most artificial bump spin that I've ever seen. I can't imagine that actually happening in real life.
Now Fetter place leading Nick Alford. So we got Duranko off track. Duranko having an issue in the next to last corner there. Setting broadside. Trying to get it going. There he goes.
Richie Coy gets around him. And actually, yeah, Jeff Chandler as well. There is a lot happening.
Starting to ramp up here. Now Wortman putting pressure on Nick Alford for second. The 83 of Tim Wortman right there behind the 98 of Alford. With all this happening, too, Ben Tracy up to fourth spot, right in front of J.P. Burns. Pretty good battle here for fourth.
Well, like I said, I was helping out Ben, and yeah, I taught him that. He's doing really good right now. Looking good, looking sharp.
You say you taught him everything he knows.
I don't know. I'm kind of looking at this lead here, too. And, I mean, Brandon probably did not want to see Nick Alford poised right behind him right now, especially with what happened with Pfluger and even with Josh Kamen. So we'll see how long it takes, though, for Nick. I mean, Nick doesn't have the clean air like he did early on. And, you know, he's definitely he's in the offensive, not necessarily the defensive line right now. But just as long as Brandon can kind of keep a decent pace on him, he doesn't have to really look too hard in that mirror.
Battle for seventh spot. Kevin Ruff has it. Looks like Cameron King wants it. Oh, we got a spin right in front of him. Victor Pfluger around again off the last corner. He's going to bleed a couple more spots.
Wow. Actually, well, we were just talking about Ben Tracy. Ben Tracy actually had a little bit of an issue there as well.
He's going to give up a couple spots there. Brian Bliss getting around him as they snake down through the S's.
Yeah, Ben Tracy had he got loose in that last corner, and wow, that's what happened with Pfluger. He actually Pfluger caught a piece of Ben there. I didn't tell Ben to do that.
He taught him everything he knows. Let's see what happens to Ben Tracy here coming out of the last corner. Actually, he's crashed again. We'll look at that, too.
Yeah.
Let's see, going through the last corner, Ben tried to gas it up and spins out right in front of... Who's that right in front of? But, yeah, then he comes back across and catches the 21 of Pfluger. Spins the 21 of Pfluger around. And they both lose spots.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to... what else happened to Ben Tracy here? Looks like Victor Pfluger, Kermit Henn, and Ben Tracy all having issues here at the same time. I don't know if it's related or not. Ben goes wide to avoid contact with Ben, or with Brian Bliss. See what happened to Kermit Henn here.
Uh-oh. Nick Alford he's stopping on the racetrack in turn one. And he quit. He's in the pits.
Huh.
guess Brandon Fetterplace doesn't have to worry about him much now. That was very odd going up into turn one, and
Oh, he blew up. He blew up going into
is
turn one.
oh, he did. Yeah, I do. I see the
I
smoke
see
now.
the
Yeah.
smoke. He blew up going into turn one. What in the world?
Well, I always hate these paddle shifters.
Let's
and
listen.
these
Let's listen
sequentials.
here. Sound like he just shifted down too early. Or maybe double shifted either.
That's what I hate, those transmissions.
My goodness.
You just don't know what gear you're in sometimes, and you might go down one more gear than you needed to, or too early, and pop goes the engine. Wow, that's a heartbreak tonight.
Well, here's Tim Wardman starting to close down a bit. Brandon Fetterplace, though.
That's what I'm watching right now. Yeah, Tim is he's been gifted, it seems like, a couple of spots here, and he's got that he's got that lead in the sight right now.
He's got the 83 in the win there. He'd been talking about getting that first win here at FTSR. How ironic it would happen on a road course. But he's got to get around that 34 Fetterplace, who's been really strong tonight too, though. So
I'm kind of looking at some lap times too with Wortman here. He's been running in a pretty consistent 7-second range right now. And going to Fetterplace. Fetterplace is also in the 7s as well. So they're both running pretty comparable lap times. It's just going to be really who screws up first. That's kind of going to be what it is. It's just, but man, they are real close. This is probably our closest battle for first right now.
oh,
wow,
he ever shoots the corner
shot
there.
That's what you don't want him to do. Those are the mistakes we're talking about.
All right, he recovered okay, though. He's going to get it back on track. He sees that lead, man. He is hungry. Trying to get to that 34 Fetterplace.
Well, and the wild thing, too, is they don't really have any competition right now. J.P. Burns sitting in a nice solid third right now, and he is on his own island. He is 6.7 seconds behind the leader. Kevin Ruff in fourth is almost 18 seconds. Now, Kevin's got a gaggle of cars behind him, but J.P. Burns, I mean, our top three right now, they're pretty much all on their own. There's no battle right now. Really, the only battle we see really is with Fetterplace and Wortman right now. Again, it's just you got to minimize those mistakes. Drive the track, race the track. Do not try to race your competitor. It'll kill you every time.
Talked about mistakes on track. We've seen so many mistakes, but I tell you, that missed shift is not one I really thought about, but that could easily happen here too. That's another hurdle these guys have to kind of jump through.
Well, and iRacing with the setup too, they allow you to really, there's like a plethora of gears you could choose. So I mean, you can really have your car geared. I ran a 2, 3, 4 and a very minor 5 going uphill into turn 1. But some guys are running 1, 2, 3, 4. It really just depends on how you have the car geared. And unfortunately, if a downshift, you don't have to use the clutch or even rev match with this car, but it can definitely maybe save an engine from expiring if you could do that. But it doesn't work as well with the sequential. And again, to me, the sequential is hard just because you don't know exactly what gear you are unless you're actually looking at the screen and seeing what gear you're in. With an H pattern, you can just tell by where your hand is. I mean, that's always been my gripe about the sequential.
Yeah, I like a sequential. I like clicking through the gears. I can focus on the driving more and less on trying to find a certain place to put my hand.
See, and I'm the opposite. I'd rather know where I am based on my hand position than trying to remember, did I downshift twice or 3 times, or
That's why you got a display. It tells you what gear you're in.
but then I got to look at the display and not the track, It's like
It's in your peripheral.
And not to like in the truck series, I run full manual. I love using the clutch and I heel and toe and all that good stuff. And to me, it feels like you get a little bit more confidence. You can't do it with the sequential. You just can't get into that rhythm. And to me, it's like a comfort zone. It's like having an extra blanket on at night. It's one of them.
I get
It's
hot
just a
easy,
comfort
so
thing.
I don't like it.
Well, yeah. But that's, yeah, there are different strokes. I mean, the sequential is faster. I'm not going to lie. And it's, it is definitely quicker to make a gear change. But I don't know. I like the engagement of an H pattern. Give me an H pattern every day.
Watching us battle back here, Cameron King in 5th spot, Gaiman trying to climb back up through the field. And Tony, we still have 20 laps remaining here, so we've got a ways to go. We've got a ways for these guys to kind of be able to rebound from some of the mistakes. You're not going to rebound from a blown engine, but maybe a spin you can come back from and have a decent finish. But I think unless something major happens, Gaiman is probably too far back to really rebound from his mistake. What is he, 21 seconds behind our leader? And it's going to be almost impossible to make up with, especially since those guys are running such close times.
Yeah, he's definitely put himself behind right now, and we really, if Better Place can just keep that pace like he's doing right now, he's actually kind of pulling away from Wortman. He definitely put a little bit of gap on that. It just, be clean. And I'm thinking too, these guys they're roughly shifting 10 to 11 times a lap. That's a lot of shifts still left to go. That's a lot of braking zones where a car can get locked up. Not jinxing anybody. I'm just saying that these are all still potential possibilities that can happen to anybody out there at any time. And then, so you just want to be clean, race the track, and just kind of don't mind what's in your mirror. I'll tell you, the track does offer a lot of unique situations, though. There are some areas I could definitely live without, but there are some pretty fun places on this track to run.
Gaiman still putting that pressure on Cameron King. Just can't quite get the pass done here for the 92. King doing a good job of hanging on to that 4th spot.
Well, Joshua's just gotta, if he does want to try to make up any more spots, he's definitely got to just be smooth with it and take it when he can get it, not necessarily when he wants it.
It's been a race of attrition suddenly here at Dakota. As he takes that outside lane, it's going to set him up good for the inside here of the right-handers. He's going to take that position. Gaiman up to 4th spot. That's where he started.
Yeah.
Kermit Henney spun coming into the cut through there. He's going to tow and get out of the way there. Unfortunately, having a rough night tonight.
Yeah, there's been a lot of, he's got some heavy nose damage. I don't know if it was from that last incident there. Yeah, he's out of the server right now as well. Victor Pfluger also is out of the server.
Yeah, he was about to get lapped, pulled into the pits, and called it a night. Let's see what happened to Kermit here. He just gasses it up, and it just pulls to the inside there. I think he said he had enough. He's had enough of that. What's our chat look like? We got Corey Clark, best announcer. I appreciate it, Corey. It's road courses are a tough one sometimes when it gets bored, but we certainly try to keep it entertaining nonetheless.
Yeah, nobody else has been out there in chat, so if you're out there, say hey.
Say ho.
Let's see if you're enjoying watching this pointy road course race right now. Pointy. Well, I'm sorry, but and I've said this right when they came up. I understand that this track was made for F1 cars, but they had all this land in Texas and Austin, and they came up with this track, and they said, let's just put a bunch of pointy corners in this track. And it's like, if you look at the full track, what we used to run, there's like 3 or 4 more pointy corners that would have been on here, and it's like why? Why would you just do all these pointy corners like this? It just doesn't make any sense.
Are you done?
Nope. There's just too many pointy corners.
Yeah. The track designer has been known for these pointy corners.
Well, I hope he got his point across. That's all I can say.
And there's only one other pointy corner we're missing, I believe. That one before the long backstretch.
Yeah, the long backstretch. Well, I don't know. There's like 3 more S's that they removed. The S's actually used to be you had the slalom like what we have now, but then there was like more funky S's, and they were all different and
Yeah.
again more sharp corners and this and that, and it's just I don't know. I guess it works in an F1 car. It doesn't work in a 3,500 pound stock car, not as well. And again, I am happy that they cut the track in half. It actually has made the track a lot more enjoyable to drive on, but it's still a beast. It's still pretty hard to get around here.
Well, I've been on worse road courses. There's one in particular that you care for that I don't care for.
Yes, yes, I know. I'll still defend it to the day I die.
Let's just put some tire stacks in the middle of the track and call it a chicane.
But they're the greatest chicanes on the. I mean, they're if you're going to have a chicane, that's how you do a chicane. And if you're out there wondering what track I'm talking about, I am talking about the amazing Alton Park. It just those are the best chicanes in racing, hands down, bar none.
Which Kevin Ruff close up on Cameron King now. That's going to be for 5th spot. Cameron in 5th, Kevin in 6th. Joshua Gaiman got around them and kind of pulled away here, but he's kind of on an island of his own there. So is the car in front of him, the 18 of J.P. Burns. We haven't really talked about J.P. Burns here, but he's running in 3rd all by himself out there. And to be honest with you, that's the way I like it on a road course. I got no cars around me, in front of me, behind me, distracting me. I could just run time trial laps and just be happy by myself.
He's got 10 seconds, about 10 seconds in front of him, and 10 seconds behind him, and yeah. And JP's not a bad road course racer either,
No.
as well. I remember doing some battles with him on some tracks long ago, and yeah, he's definitely in a decent top 3 spot right now. And again, he's one of those cars we haven't seen him get out of shape. He's been running a pretty cool, tidy lap, and especially too now, you have no competition around you. And all you got to do is, like you say, run them hot laps and just run smooth laps, really.
I tell you, that can be good, but that can also be bad because you've got nobody to judge off of. You really don't. I mean, you could, I guess.
True.
I guess you can look at lap times and kind of see how you're doing, but sometimes it is good to kind of have that rabbit to chase out there, to kind of not only give you a reference, but to be honest with you, Tony, to kind of burn some of these laps off because you're out there by yourself. You start thinking about other things. Okay, how many laps I got to go? It can really feel like forever out there by yourself.
Well, yeah. Then you start getting. I wonder what I'm going to have for breakfast tomorrow, and yeah, you start sidestepping and start thinking.
And the
but
next
there
thing
again,
you know,
though,
you do that, you
yeah.
got to run straight off of a corner.
That's true. But there again, too, though, you don't have anybody. You're not pushing to try and catch anybody, and you don't have anybody breathing down your neck either. And again, too, the only guy that he really needs to look at is the guy behind him. And if that number starts getting a little bit, you can check that. He's got such a good lead over Joshua Gaiman right now. If all he's got to do is look at that number, and he's like, okay, yeah, it doesn't look like he's getting any closer, and he just keep out there and running his lap. I mean, we only have 15 to go here, so.
Yep.
Not too bad. Looking pretty good, though, out there. And Joshua, unfortunately, I mean, you said he had, 21 second? He's down at 24 now. So Joshua's obviously not running any better. And actually, he goes a little wide in that, right in the stadium corner there.
He probably lost a little time battling some of those guys coming back up through the field. So, yeah, but 24 seconds. Going back up front, though, Tim Wortman's still kind of keeping Brandon Fetterplace in sight. One slip up by the 34. And he'll be right there to be able to pounce.
Yeah, and they're actually they're starting to catch some lap traffic there too. There, it's Julio Villalobos Jr. in front of him right now, and they might catch him in the S's, which is not a great place to catch lap traffic.
Yeah, 45 right in front of those guys.
Is Julio going to kind of let him go by? Well, man, I don't know. Maybe not. Julio's got a still decent enough lead there. But it's definitely not a place as a leader you want to catch lap traffic. Okay, Julio does give him he gives him a little bit more clearance than he probably needed to, but
through the sand there,
clearance was given. So yeah,
he's definitely giving them plenty of room there.
I'm sure they got their hand out the window saying thank you. A little too much, but
I
appreciate
it. That all the way over there.
Yeah.
Villalobos. Yeah, see, he's going on the satellite team there.
And just to give you an idea of our leaders right now, Brandon Fetterplace ran a 137.258. Tim Wortman Jr. ran a 137.275. So they are running hundredths of a second from each other. I mean, Fetterplace is just a tick quicker, but I'll tell you, the two of them are running a great race right now, and I like to see Tim kind of put a little pressure on Brandon there, make it a little spicy. And we might see that. I mean, yeah, what do we got? A little under, we're down to what, 13 laps now when they hit the line?
Yep, 13. Yeah, 13 laps to go.
He's got the time to get there. I mean, he's definitely in that spot to get there as well. So
I'm looking at their fast lap. Tim Wortman 134.7.
Man, a 34, no kidding. I'll tell you, you're cooking if you're running 34s around here. That's it's a pretty good lap.
Sorry, that's a 6. Sorry, I can't read. Blind. 136.7. Brendan Fetterplace best.
Tim got a little hot going into 6A or 6B or that left-hander after the S's. I don't know what it was. It lost a little bit of time to Fetterplace there.
Lap 41.
Tim's just got to be smooth.
A 53 here.
Yeah, kind of going back to JP. He lost a couple seconds to the leaders, but he really hasn't lost any time to Joshua either. So maybe a little bit. Joshua maybe have gained a second or two, but there's still a good 12-second buffer between the two cars right now. And then really, the next battle is for fourth, or for fifth rather. Cameron King and Cameron Ruff, and they're under a very small blanket right there as well. Actually, it looks like Cameron Ruff actually did just pass Cameron King not too long ago.
So Ruff up into fifth. Good solid fifth place run for him. Cameron King in sixth, still hanging in there in the top 10, having a nice run as well. Yeah, Brian Bliss back there in seventh. Who he had an issue a minute ago. Let's see what happens to the Ada Bliss here. Getting into the stadium section, gets in a little hot, locks up that right front. Just runs wide, a little off in the dirt, just a little bit there. Loses a little time, but continues on, no harm, no foul.
Yeah, Brian was a little worried about his outing tonight, but he's doing a pretty good job, man.
He's hanging in there, seventh spot.
Yeah,
solid, a lot better than a lot of the other guys.
He has, he has minimized mistakes, and definitely running pretty good. Ben Tracy behind him, and then you got Brian Dixon even behind him as well. And that fifth through ninth right now, they're kind of, I would say, pack number 2, like an actual pack, but they're still a pretty spread out pack. Nobody's really looking to pounce on anybody right now, but they are all over. There's a bunch of spots to be had there. If somebody makes a mistake, there's going to be a pass being made.
And look who cracked the top 10. After having all those issues.
Now, he does have a few laps older tires, but, he's been able to kind of work back his way up front here.
Still struggling with handling, as you can see.
Yeah. Well, then you got Ryan Huff behind him, too. Out there running some decent laps. I haven't seen really a whole lot out of him as far as uh-ohs go. Probably just struggling on this road course along with Wayne Grossi behind him too. He's our last guy on the lead lap right now, sitting 12th, and just hanging in there, man. I mean, we know he's probably not a huge fan of these tracks, but he's making a great attempt tonight, and he's actually looked pretty clean all night.
There's Wayne Grossi. 12th spot right in front of him, Ryan Huff in 11th. Huff's had a few exciting moments, but still hanging around out there on the lead lap in 11th spot.
Yeah.
Jeff Chandler in 12th. He just had a moment, actually. Jumping to him Actually, in 13th, sorry. Just kind of soldiering on out there, trying to finish this one out.
Well, he actually went another lap down, too. The leaders did get around him yet again. So, yeah, Chandler's 2 laps down now. Fetter Place, man. Fetter Place is he's putting on the speed. He's got 2.7s over Tim Wortman. I don't know if Tim Wortman's just starting to lose a little bit of the tire wear on that car right now, but yeah, Brandon has definitely extended that lead quite a bit. Let's see what kind of times we're dealing with here.
Let's see. Last lap for Brandon Fetter Place, 137.5. Tim Wortman, 137.4.
Huh. Interesting.
And they just kind of flip-flop out back, it seems like. They're
Yeah,
really
yeah.
close on times.
But I think Tim's had a couple of uh-ohs, and that's what's kind of put him behind a little bit. Because he was within a second for many, many laps. He just needs Fetter Place to have himself a little uh-oh, and maybe he can get back up there.
You got to keep your concentration. And it's hard
That's
to do
right.
on these long runs.
Well, if your car is comfortable and if you got a decent setup too, I mean, it's not bad. It definitely makes it easier to do so. And, you're just out there for a little Sunday drive. But if you're really fighting handling and if the car is a little loose, and it's definitely going to make your night a little bit harder for you. Oh, and as I say, Tim Wortman takes wow, he just misses the wall. Oh, man, that could have been really bad.
Will Lobos had an issue there. Let's look and see what happened to Tim Wortman just now, coming through that tight corner here. Oh, gasses it up, loses traction. Does stay off the wall, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm amazed that they had grip to keep it off the wall there. That was pretty impressive.
That's going to cost him a little time now. The gap being, what is it? Almost 7 seconds.
Yeah, he went from 2 seconds to about 7 seconds.
And now 7 seconds to lead, and 8 seconds back to JP Burns. So they are.
And Joshua's actually starting to close in to JP a little bit. There's still 8-second gap there, but he is starting to. It's definitely better than the 12 seconds he was a few laps back.
And then
So
now
there might be a
Kevin
little
Ruff,
shakeup for third.
15 seconds back from Joshua Gaiman. So
Yeah,
they are quite spaced out here. Cameron Keane,
they are.
3 seconds back from Kevin Ruff, and then it's 5 seconds back to Brian Bliss. And then almost 10 seconds back to Ben Tracy. So they are quite spaced out here.
Yeah, and Fetter Place is just entering carousel right now, and Wayne Grassi is just entering the last corner, to give you an idea where the next lap car is for Fetter Place. It'll be. I wonder if Brandon will even catch Wayne by the time this is over. I don't know if he's got enough laps to get there.
We're going to come around and see 8 laps to go for the 34 Fetter Place. Now all he has to do is hit his point. He doesn't even have to run fast laps, just run consistent laps here. And honestly, Tony, sometimes when you start running those consistent laps, you find yourself picking up time, and you're like, well, why haven't I been doing this the whole time?
Well, yeah, when you don't have pressure around you and all you got to do is go out there and drive. I mean, it's a double-edged sword, because you can either get too comfortable and make a mistake, or you could slow down a little bit thinking, okay, I'm not under pressure, and then make a mistake. You almost got to kind of just stay in that rhythm that you've been in the whole night. And don't even pay attention to lap times. Just keep doing what you've been doing lap after lap. And again, if your car's comfortable enough to continue to do what you've already done, you should be in good shape. And yeah, Fetter Place, he's looking really good right now for this win.
Yep, Wortman in second there. And one thing I see Wortman doing on that downhill into that corner, he's one of the only guys I see out there. He's completely to the right of the curb. He's on that runoff here, that red part, trying to open up the entry of the corner as much as he can. But he stays out there and breaks in that section. I gotta wonder though if the paint has a different grip, has more or less grip than the actual track does at that point.
I don't know if it actually has extra grip. I try to stay off of the the painted surfaces. It seems like they were a little bit slipperier, and sometimes they don't like the power as much as the pavement. So yeah, I mean, I guess it could work if your car's tuned for it, and if you got that delicate foot to get through there, it's not a bad option. But I don't know. I would try to stay. Me personally, I was trying to stay off of them.
Well, if we ever get rain, you definitely want to stay off of that out there. But
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, it's one of those things too. Like the red and white rumbles aren't that bad, but when you get into the solid red section, you don't know. It's almost like you don't know what it's going to do. Sometimes you're going to get decent grip. Sometimes you might not get decent grip. And I mean, even with the S's as well, uh, you just kind of get that. You just don't know what kind of car or what kind of grip you're going to get.
I know more the 8 and Brian Bliss here, currently in 7th spot. Up into turn 1.
Yeah, he's kind of on his own island. They're still pretty well spread out, although, man, he overshot turn 1 there.
Carried a lot of speed in there.
No harm, no foul. He's just using that runoff. He's just dirtying the track for the rest of the guys.
Left, right, left, right.
And what's cool about this track, if you remember from years past, they used to have these, what were they, turtles?
Yeah.
And they were right at the very corner of every one of those S's. And if you would touch them in the car, they would literally throw the car. And they remove the turtles. They allow the guys to kind of get on those rumble strips. I mean, if you look at some of these guys cutting through the S's, they're not even on the actual pavement themselves. They are on that the rumble strip. They're on the red and white area. And there you got some decent grip. So that in itself has been a huge improvement of this track from what they've done from years past.
I'm ready to get the tire stacks they had. Let's put the tire stacks in the S's and see what happens.
Well, even in the real race, they had the tire stacks, so you couldn't go too far over. But the guys were still running in that same groove that we're seeing these guys run now.
Yeah, they're leaving them room to run the groove they ran. Let's right on board. Now we run on board with Brian Bliss. Let's look at Fetter Place here.
He's just, I'll tell you, man, he's been running a nice, tidy line this whole race. Haven't seen him I don't think I've seen him get out of shape once.
Nice and smooth.
Yep. And he really has not lost, he's lost a tenth of a second to Wortman since Wortman had his little issue back there. And, yeah, so, I mean, he's really under no pressure.
And showing off all the secrets.
That's right.
From Fetter Place's laps here. And he again stays to the right stays to the right there to the entry of that last corner. Just open up the corners as much as you can, straighten them up as much as you can, and put the power down as soon as you can.
Well, too, and if you listen to the engine too, you notice he's rolling quite a bit. You know, using as much of the track, using as much of the rumble strip as possible, and let that thing roll before he gets back on the power. That's really what you got to do here. Even in the S's, I found myself off throttle probably more than on throttle. I mean, you really almost use the brakes and you're off the gas more than you are on the gas through this entire lap.
The key is to get to and maintain the optimal speed through there so you can do that. You know, if you ever find yourself you're too slow through the corner or too slow through the S's or even, heaven forbid, you're too fast and you have to hit the brakes and it upsets the car, you know, you can kind of mess up the S's there. You definitely want to keep that optimal speed through there to kind of roll through the corner like you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of where the track bores me because I don't like a track where you're rolling. I like a track where you're attacking, fast track, you know, and I think of the Glen. You know, Glen is what we consider kind of a high-speed road course. And
Jeff
a lot
Chandler
of fun.
around, and he gets pushed on around by another car there. He's still. Oh no! He backs
Oh.
up in front of
That was
Cameron King.
Cameron King, yeah.
Let's go back and see what happened to Jeff there. Kevin Ruff got a piece of that as well. Kevin Ruff's the one that kind of pushed him around there.
Is that J.P. Burns, I believe?
See, 31 spins into that corner there. JP gets around. No. Yeah, that was Kevin Ruff that come up on him right there. And
Yeah. Okay. It was okay. Yeah, it was Cameron, and then Kevin, then Cameron.
Yep. Right on board with Kevin there. You see the 31 spinning. He comes back across the track, unfortunately, and he just tags him right there. I don't think it really did any damage to the 99. Just kind of had to slow down for that.
Yeah. Oh,
Wayne Grossi
I was just gonna say,
spins it.
he just goes a lap down, and yeah, he just got out of the groove there, giving room for Brandon, and it kind of probably threw off his rhythm there and got a little loose. I mean, something that small and stupid. That's all it takes, though, to kind of lose that concentration, and to where you lose that focus, and it throws you off.
He goes wide to give him the spot. Gets out there on that. He just tries to get back in the gas and half spins. Didn't actually even spin around.
No, yeah. All right. Well, I kind of predicted it may happen, and we are getting there. There might be a battle for third brewing here. Joshua Gaiman is reeled in J.P. Burns, and there's about a 3-second gap now between the two of them. They only got about 3 more laps to get it done, though.
Yeah, Villalobos goes off entering that cut through there, 6A. Brings a lot of gravel on the track. We'll see if that affects anybody here coming through there, as we only have 3 laps remaining.
I know a lot of people were complaining about it in practices, especially over the weekends as well. Debris everywhere, and it takes forever to get the debris to get cleaned up. Well, it ain't going to get cleaned up now if there's too much out there.
A lot of rocks in
That's
6A right now.
I mean, that's another cool feature that iRacing kind of put in here with the debris, but yeah, it definitely could be
right
a little
there.
havoc. Yeah.
Gaiman trying to chase him down, but he is
Yeah,
running out of time.
JP kind of ran that the 6A a little wide there, that first corner. It's starting to really bring Joshua up to him.
Meanwhile, no change
JP's.
up front. Brandon Fetter placed with a 7-second lead now over Tim Wortman. J.P. Burns in third. But he does have the 61 Gaiman starting to close in on him. 1.6 seconds behind him.
Yeah, I'm watching this battle right now, and yeah, JP, you can tell he's starting to struggle a little bit.
Oh no, he spins sideways off into the guardrail, out of the carousel, into the wall. He's going to give that spot up to J.P. Burns. I'm sorry, to Joshua Gaiman. Burns off in the grass and into the wall. Unfortunately, there just loses traction. But
Man,
he soldiers
he got
on.
old.
Only lost one position though.
Yeah, he had. I mean, they still had a pretty good lead over to Kevin Ruff though too. But man, he's got some pretty good nose damage now. Man, not a way you want to give up that spot.
It's not, but luckily it's only one spot. You can soldier
right.
on here. 2 laps remaining. He should be okay to hold on against Kevin Ruff as long as it's nothing major. Because Ruff is just hitting the start-finish line right now.
Yeah, and JP's about. He's almost out of the S's. But Fetter Place looking really good. He's got about another lap and a half to go here. He's got a huge lead over Wortman, a little over 8 seconds now.
Gonna have a little bit of lap traffic to deal with here on the last couple laps. If he gets there, I think it's Ryan Huff in front of him in the 93, 11th spot.
Well, that's even if he wants to deal with Ryan Huff right now. He probably could putter around here for the next lap, and he should be all right.
He's going to come around the final turn and see that white flag down there. 1 lap remaining for the 34 Brandon Fetter place here at Circuit of the Americas. It's been a topsy-turvy race for sure. Nick Alford leading. The Nick Alford having issues, and then a plethora of other issues around the other guys. Joshua Gaiman going for a spin at battling up for the lead. Oh, we see a...
Yeah, Ryan Huff spins a little bit out of turn 1.
Well, that solves that problem for Fetter place.
That's right, yeah.
You saw Nick Alford have that issue where he blew up into turn 1, blowing an engine, and that ends his night.
Yeah, Victor Fluger too, running up front, had some issues about 20 laps ago, and he parked it for the night. A lot of guys though having just some uncharacteristic nights that they probably did not want to have, but they're probably happy that it's all over though too.
Richie Coy having his issues. He's back in 10th. Very uncharacteristic night for a lot of guys, but Fetter Place has been Mr. Consistency. Just solid, consistent, running solid laps, lap after lap, not putting a foot wrong or a tire wrong, and just continues to show how he is Mr. Consistency. He's going to insert himself into this points battle here up front tonight with a win at COTA. Coming through the last couple of corners, got nothing to worry about, nowhere around him. And through the final turn, it will be Brandon Fetter place in the number 34 Toyota for Hot Lap Heroes. Getting it done, is going to win the DuraMax 200 here in the Victory Fuel Cup Series on Full Throttle Television. Very impressive ride.
Yeah, he did a great job tonight. Just about as clean as a run can be tonight, and he was given a couple of gifts too. But man, he made it. He made it work right out of the stage. Was able to kind of stay up front. We saw Joshua Gaiman have that issue, kind of put Fetter place in the front. Nick Alford was chasing him. Nick had some issues as well, and man, just a great run though. I mean, I didn't see him have any contact. I mean, he's getting contact now from his teammate, but he did not get any contact at all. It just had a really clean race. Didn't spin. I didn't even see a lockup from him tonight. He just did a great job.
Yeah, Fetter place holding pretty well all night tonight. Was in position when Nick had his issues. I mean, he was running up front anyway. Him and Nick were kind of the class of the field, it seemed like, all night, especially on the older tires. And with Nick out of the way, Fetter place just had to hold a nice wheel, kind of wheel himself around this track, and that's exactly what he did. Comes home with the win tonight. First win of 2026A for Fetter place. Our third different winner too, Tony. Very competitive field out there.
I'm actually kind of going back. I'm looking because I thought Brian Bliss was ahead of Ben Tracy, but I guess Ben did get around Brian somehow. Just trying to go back to see what actually happened at that point. Okay. Yeah, it just it almost looks like Brian let him go in the beginning of the S's on lap 52. So yeah, it wasn't a dramatic pass or anything.
Well, 3 races down, 3 different winners here for the Victory Fuel Cup Series. Fetter place, your latest one, going to insert himself into the battle here for the 2026A season championship. He's going to get down here and burn it down here for the fans on the front stretch. And while he does that, let's look at the results tonight for the DuraMax 200 Victory Fuel Cup Series. Brandon Fetter place getting it done. Tim Wortman, great run for Tim in second spot, a solid run, and we see it all the time with Wortman. He's very consistent as well. He's going to be a contender if he can stay consistent all season. Joshua Gaiman was running up front, battling for the lead, actually leading at one point. Unfortunately, had that spin, drops to third. That's where he'll finish tonight. J.P. Burns with another solid run, 4th spot for the 18 of Burns. And got to be happy about that. Kevin Ruff finishing off in 5th spot in the number 99 Chevrolet, best one tire and auto care Chevy. Sixth spot for the 92 of Cameron King. Solid run for him as well. First forward in the field as well in sixth spot. Seventh spot for the 33 Ben Tracy, right where he started. Eighth spot for the 8 car of Brian Bliss. Ninth spot going to go to the 03 of Brian Dixon. Solid run for him as well. Richie Coy finishing up in 10th spot in the Victory Fuel Ford. 11th spot for the 93 of Ryan Huff. 12th going to the 7 of Wayne Grassi.
All right, then we had Julio Villalobos Jr. finishing 13th in the 45. Louis Meglin in the 43, finishing 14th. Jeff Chandler finishing 15th in the 31. Kermit Henney in the 16th spot in car 84. Victor Fluger, he was up front for quite a bit in the 21 car and 17th spot. Nick Elfert, unfortunately with the popped motor, finished 18th in the 98. Alan Duranco, car 2 in the 19th spot. Alexander Hodge, 20th spot in car 53. Robert Fitzpatrick Jr. in the 21st spot in car 28. And then we had a couple starting Parkers, Mason Hoffner, 22nd spot, James Torrey in the 23rd spot. All in all, pretty good race. I mean, it was a struggle for a lot of these guys, though. I'll tell you, I'm kind of glad I wasn't out there. It was kind of nice to be in the booth and see how this played out tonight.
It's not an easy track, and we knew it would be a battle.
Oh.
And it was sure a battle of attrition for some of the guys, but up front, Better Place just hanging on, doing his thing, righting the ship and just cruising off into victory here tonight. Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll talk to our top 3 finishers and see what they have to say about tonight's race here at Circuit of the Americas. We'll be right back after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
We are Best One.
The best tires.
The best customer service.
The best automotive service.
The best team.
And the best customers. You see, Best One isn't just our name, it's who we are. Since 1948, Best One has been delivering quality and dependable tires and full-service automotive care to our customers. Best One, selling tires, serving people. We are Best One.
Back here at sunny Circuit of the Americas here in Texas, finishing up the DuraMax 200 for the Victory Fuel Cup Series here on Full Throttle Television. We're going to throw it over to our post-race show presented by Victory Fuel. Remember to use code FTSR for 10% off your order at drinkvictory.com. Victory Fuel, proud sponsor of the Victory Fuel Cup Series. Let's start with our interviews. Let's pull up our third place finisher, Mr. Joshua Gaiman, getting it done tonight. Joshua, congratulations, man. Third place finish. I know you were up there battling for the lead. You were up front all night, had speed in that car. Unfortunately, a couple of mistakes kind of set you back there at the end.
Yeah, that restart after the stage, it felt like I was trying to box my car in a phone booth. It was just all over the place compared to the beginning of the race. Could have just been track change or maybe somebody sliding some gravel across the track that I really couldn't see or something. But it was super evil there at that beginning of the stage.
Yeah, we even saw at the end of the race there some gravel being pulled on, and we knew that was kind of going to be a challenge here. We saw a lot of debris on the track, but the track itself seemed a little tricky, and I know cold tires seemed a little tricky after the restart as well. Did you struggle with cold tires, or was it track difference? What was going on out there?
It probably was just a little bit of everything, kind of just adding up. Because I went into that long right hander, and I don't know what happened. Like it went into the corner fine. It didn't really bounce or anything weird. It just kind of snapped sideways on me. It's kind of the curse of these tires is once the grip's gone, it's gone, and it just kind of maybe I went into the corner too wide. I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch it myself and maybe try to assess what I did wrong. I thought I did everything the same I'd been doing it the whole race. So yeah, I don't know. It was just definitely once it got really rubbered in. If you got off that rubber, it was a little sketchy, and then of course just with all the gravel and the dirt and sand and everything getting pulled on the track, it just the train changed every lap.
Yeah, we even saw some of the guys trying to get out of the way that were being lapped. They would get out there in that dirty stuff and they go get back on the gas and they just come around. So it definitely was not only the track is tricky, but then you have to deal with traffic and stuff like that, dirt on the track and all that stuff can really make it a challenging night for sure, man. But again, like I said, you were up front all night. You were solid all night. I don't know that we would call you necessarily a road course ace, but you look like an ace out there tonight for sure. Lucky you had a lot of speed in the car. I don't know if it's the car, the driver, or probably a combination of both, I would say.
Yeah, after there's just huge mistakes, and then I like 360'd the car and got going again. I just really had to put my head down, and I enjoy racing, stock cars on road courses. It's something that's nowadays, or well, I mean, the last 20, 30 years, it just felt like it's a little novel, a bit novel, a little out of the norm, and because usually we'd only go to 2 road courses a year, and now we've got 3 or 4 on the schedule, and it's just we got a car that is squared up and made to do it, and it just kind of it made it really fun to me.
Well, like you were having fun out there tonight for sure. I had to come back from a couple of misfortunes, but I guess it's kind of fun driving up through the field, making those passes too. So that'd be a little fun, man. Well, congratulations again on the third place finish tonight. Solid finish, solid points finish, and I'm sure you'll take those points as we go into Phoenix, man. So I'm going to throw it to you, let you do your shout outs and your sponsor plugs.
Yeah, man. I'll shout out JC for bringing me in and giving me a shot at it. It's been a lot of fun. I've had my struggles here for a couple of weeks here in and out, and just good to be able to fight back tonight and put a good finish in and not have any issues with anybody else. Whether it be my fault or not or whatever is going on. It was a lot of fun. It was like a really great race. I'll shout out, everybody on the team and you guys for putting this series on and the broadcasts on, and everybody for coming to watch.
All right, man. Well, awesome job out there, third place. We'll see you next week at Phoenix to carry that momentum forward.
Absolutely.
All right, there's your third place finisher tonight. Joshua Gaiman getting it done in the number 61. Had to come back from some struggles, but fights us way back up to third spot. Know he had a strong car out there. Maybe you wanted a little bit more. But still comes home with a solid finish. And I believe, Tony, you are standing by with our second place finisher, Mr. Tim Wortman.
Yeah, I'm down here with second place Tim Wortman. Man, Tim, you've had a pretty good night tonight. You're running top 5 all night, really trying to shake down Brandon Fairplace for a while. You were down to about a 1 second, and then it kind of fell apart a little bit for you. But man, you still had a hell of a run tonight. How was your night?
Yeah, I felt like I ran a pretty good, consistent race. A lot better than what I ran on my last race Thursday night. I was slow and ended up wrecking out, and just really sat down and watched, some good videos today, and just logged in and was immediately like a full second faster than where I had been.
Well, yeah, well, it definitely showed tonight. I mean, yeah, we were talking in the broadcast about it, night of attrition. A lot of guys had some issues tonight. A lot of mistakes happening out there. We saw you, for the most part, you and obviously Brandon as well. You guys were real clean. You were able to kind of get through these corners pretty good, real smooth. Again, you were putting up a pretty good fight there. We thought there was going to be a little bit of battle for the lead there. And yeah, whatever video you watched, maybe you need to post it in the Discord so everybody else could take a look at it, because yeah, it definitely helped you tonight. I mean, you look really good tonight.
Yeah, I always run good here at Coda, but man, since they did this new format, I've just not gotten the hang of it. But yeah, to definitely tonight had definitely renewed my love for this track and had a lot of fun. I really hate that tire barrier section. It just sucks the whole fun out of it. I want to get out there and run the S's, run up and down the hills, and um, but yeah, we just got back up to Brandon, and then I think you guys probably saw that, spun the tires there coming, out of that corner before the carousel, and it took off to the grass for me, and had a PC hardware issue with 2 laps to go that didn't help things much, but I wasn't catching them at that point.
Oh man, well, yeah, the PC stuff is definitely never warranted or wanted, but yeah, unfortunately it happens. I believe, yeah, we did catch that little slip up you did have. Again, though, I mean, you guys had such a commanding lead over third. I mean, you didn't lose any spots. I think you just barely. You didn't touch the wall, but you were able to make a pretty good save out of it as well, and it still worked out pretty good. But you're telling me you like the full track better than this half track cut up that we're dealing with?
Oh yeah, running through the messes up the hill and down into that hard braking zone before you hit the long straight, man, that's just so much fun to get out there and rip the curbs. And now that they did the track limits better on this track, it would have just been that much better.
Well, I guess, yeah, that's true. That's true. We were talking about that. I'm actually kind of a fan of the newer, shorter version myself. But yeah, I guess with the new track limits, it might not be. It might be a whole different animal. That's probably a good point that I didn't even think about. But hey, you still had a good race though tonight. Second place is still pretty good in the points as well. I know our top 2 guys had some issues tonight. Actually, I think our top 4 guys had issues tonight, so you should definitely be moving up in the points as well. So again, congrats on the second, and the floor is yours, man.
Yeah, thanks. It was definitely nice to have a good points night tonight after, being there, turn 2 off Daytona, battling for the win and getting wrecked out, and then catching a black flag last week hurt me whenever I felt like I was in it. So want to thank my guys at Warrior Racing and RFH for letting me run with them this season. Nick King, Warrior Apps for making my car look so good. Ryko for putting a great setup under the car and making obviously an awesome tutorial video. Best One Tires for putting my transit cargo van, the Gray Ghost, keep me rolling on the highway, and the guys at Advanced Sim Racing for just an awesome rig. VRS Racing Wheels, podiums or base units, and you guys for putting on an awesome broadcast.
Well, cool, man. We appreciate that, and yeah, I'm sure the shout outs and to everybody that helped you out, it definitely worked tonight. So yeah, good job again, and yeah, we'll see you next week, man.
All right, thanks.
All right, I think you're sitting with our winner there, Mr. Brandon Fetterplace, are you not?
I'm actually standing by with our winner.
Oh, standing by.
Brandon Fetterplace. Standing on victory lane here with Brandon. Brandon, congratulations, man. What a win tonight. What a consistent run out there here tonight at COTA in dominating fashion after Nick Alford, your teammate, had some issues there. Puts you 11 points behind the lead here in the A season. So, man, congratulations. What a run.
Oh, man. Oh, I'm pretty tired after that one. That was that did not go how I expected. I knew I was going to think I had some speed tonight. Practice showed that we had a lot of fast guys here tonight, so I wasn't sure how it was going to play out. It was very unfortunate, my teammate. I mean, he was fast. He won the stage. I just, he was fast. So,
Well, before we go on, what was was it a double shift? Was it a missed time down shift? What actually happened there?
I haven't had time to go back and look at it, but
Oh,
from
okay.
what he told me, is he thinks that he just downshifted too fast.
Oh, okay.
That he had downshifted into third right before he hit the brakes, and it just urinated. So
Yeah.
I need to go back and watch it to kind of see if that's what it was, or maybe there was some sort of error.
What if it makes you feel any better? I think you were in front of him at that time anyway, so you'd already made the pass. He had to get back around you anyway. But
Yeah.
so I mean, listen, you guys were strong from the start. I mean, even in qualifying, in practice, you guys were up front. Qualifying, you guys swept the pole at hot lap. And so you guys were starting up front. You and Nick kind of drove away from everybody else before the stage. You guys had, and we knew, or at least I thought, that once Nick had his issues, it was all about you. I know you had Victor Fluger back there hounding you at one point. Then you had the 83 of Tim Wortman hounding you. But you guys looked so strong on the long run. I figured you guys were kind of taking it easy and be able to stretch it out at the end, which is exactly what happened.
Yeah, we were kind of taking our time. Truth be told, I wasn't very happy with the set at the beginning of the week. And so, I did a lot of practice. I did a lot of, talking to people and trying to figure out what I can do differently because it just wasn't working for me. And come to find out, I just needed to slow my pace, stop driving the car so aggressively, and also, just kind of let the car come to you. And, so that whole time, that's what I was reminding myself during the first stage is just, hey, he's in front of you. Just take it easy, and don't just knock the fronts off of it like I'd been doing all week with a ton of practice and officials. I just wasn't sure what I was going to have tonight.
Yeah, well, it definitely worked out. Like you said, sometimes you have to slow down to go fast, and that's exactly what you guys seem to kind of figure out there. Kind of taking it easy. You and Nick both, like I said, on kind of a level of your own there. Although I will say, after the stage on that restart, it got pretty tasty. You had the 60-minute Gaiman takes the lead after you guys run wide in turn one. You got the 83, of course, hounding you there. Like, it got pretty exciting there after that restart.
Yeah, that was something I was not expecting. That turn of events. Nick, we both ran hot into the corner, which I guess I didn't get my brakes hot enough either. And then all of a sudden Gaiman came around us and I thought, well, that's unexpected. I didn't see that coming. And then we go into the was that stadium section or whatever that is right there, the long right-hander, and he spins out.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, what is happening? Like, I'm so surprised. I don't know what to do. So, I just pretty much just tried to stay as focused as I could. I didn't say much over the radio and just tried to hit consistent laps.
Well, it definitely worked out for you for sure, man. Congratulations once again. I'm going to throw it to Tony though and let him have a few words here.
Well, I was going to say, how'd you feel when you locked up into turn 3 and then you spun in turn 5? I'm just kidding. You didn't do any of that, and that's why you won. But no, man, you did a great job tonight. You ran a good, clean race. I even said on the broadcast you were given a couple of gifts too, but you made use of those gifts. And honestly, man, you were running great before the stage. You were kind of hanging on to your teammate's tail there for a while, and how everything played out. You were able to show that you were able to kind of get it done at the end there, and again, congrats. No real questions as usual. Just you did a hell of a job tonight. Good job.
Well, I appreciate it. I love these road courses. I know they get a lot of hate. A lot of people don't like them, but I really do enjoy these types of tracks. It doesn't always go my way, and just happened to go that way tonight.
Well, it's a challenge for sure, and I know all of us kind of like the challenges that are posed here. Week after week, it's a lot of fun to kind of see who comes out on top. For us, just watching as broadcasters, it's a lot of fun to kind of see who's able to master the challenge, who steps up to the plate every week. And so far, 3 races, 3 different winners, very competitive out there. I love to see that. That's a lot of fun to watch as well. But we go into Phoenix now, Brandon. We start getting to some of these typical tracks. We got the 2 super speedways and the road course behind us. Now we've got Phoenix, Darlington, Las Vegas, some of these other tracks coming up. If you guys kind of prepared for the what we could, I guess what I would say is like the typical tracks for the rest of the season.
Me personally, I know I spent a lot of time on this track and trying to get a little better at super speedways. I put a little bit of time into Phoenix, but I plan on hitting it pretty hard after this to kind of get ready for that.
We've got the new horsepower there too, so that can mix things up a little bit as well.
Right, and I typically run halfway decent at Phoenix, so I'm pretty excited to go back there with the new package and to see how everything goes. But hey, we got a lot of fast guys as we have been showing every single week, so it could really be up in the air at this point.
Definitely looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing who comes out on top the rest of the season here. But tonight, we get to celebrate the 34 Brandon Fetter Place back in victory lane here tonight, and back towards the front of the points. And I'm sure you're going to be a force to be reckoned with all season there. So I look forward to that, man. I'm going to throw it to you, though, let you do your shout-outs, your sponsor plugs tonight before you head off and celebrate this victory.
Thank you. First and foremost, Hot Lap Heroes. Again, these guys are so great to work with every single week. Thanks to Premier Setups for the super fast setups that they give me every single week. I wouldn't be where I'm at without them. Thank you to the broadcast, obviously you guys, for the great broadcast. I can't wait to go back and watch this one. It's going to be pretty entertaining, I think. And thanks to everyone who watches. Thanks to all the league sponsors and just everyone that makes this happen every week. So.
All right, man. Well, we appreciate it, and look forward to seeing you next week at Phoenix. See if you can get it done. Go 2 for 2 out there in the desert.
I hope so.
All right. We'll see you out there, man. Congratulations.
All right. See ya.
There's your winner tonight, the 34 Brandon Fetter Place. Man, Hot Lap Heroes, Tony, they are competitive week in, week out. And tonight they get it done here on the road course. And maybe not the one that they kind of expected there. Nick Alfred with his issues, but Fetter Place picks up the mantle where Nick left off and drifts off into the sunset.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm sure, just as long as they're keeping it in the team, they don't mind too much. And, yeah, Hot Lap Heroes, he was the hero of hot lapping today. I mean, he did, and he did just that, man. And he just, probably the cleanest driver out there. I mean, really again, and I was joking. There wasn't even tire smoke from the car at all tonight. He ran a tighty line. I didn't see him get out of shape once. And that's what you got to do here. And really, I mean, if you can get through 53 laps of this brutal track, and again, it is kind of fun, but it is a challenge and it is a little brutal too. And if you could just do what he did, you're going to find yourself in victory lane. And it is a tough feat to do, but Brandon did a great job. And yeah, I mean, they're a great team, and we're going to see what they're going to do next week as well. And he's moving up in the points. We had some other guys kind of dropping a little bit. So big points shake up. I mean, it's starting to be a fun season so far.
Well, this guy's living up to their name tonight as Brandon Fetter Place gets it done here at COTA. Well, next week we head to Phoenix Raceway. Should be a lot of fun, Tony. A little bit different track, a little flat track action with a little bit extra horsepower. Let's see how these guys kind of tackle that. And you can watch all the action right here on Full Throttle Television every Monday night, 9 p.m. for the Victory Fuel Cup Series. Definitely want to check it out and see what those guys have in store for next week. But that's going to do it for us tonight here at COTA, though. For everybody at Full Throttle Television, for Tony Solari, my name's Brady Hanna. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you guys had fun like we did, and we'll see you next week from Phoenix.